MIA. Hole for refusing to attend church with my roommates? Trigger warning. Gaslighting, coercion, homophobia. I, 23 female, live with Grace, 23 female, Tom, 25 male, and Harry, 24 male. The four of us decided to go on a 4-day trip over the Easter period to a town 1 hour away that we had wanted to visit for a while. None of us had traveled for the last year, and we wanted a change of scenery, and all complied with our local COVID rules. We booked an Airbnb and planned some activities, museums, cool parks, local hotspots. We also made it clear that we were each going to be going off on our own to explore if we wanted, and everyone seemed to agree. The issue was on Easter Sunday. We decided to all go for a walk, ended up at a church, and then Grace told us to go inside. I asked to speak to her alone, so we sat on a bench nearby. I was in a Catholic school when I was younger and had a lot of trauma from it. There were some really horrible barbaric punishments that I can't list here. Grace is religious, and I absolutely respect that for her, and I see how it enriches her life. When we moved in, I explained my experiences to her and told her that she could have religious items around, host religious events, but that I didn't want to actively participate in any activity or prayer. She agreed, and we've never had a problem with it. While we were on the bench, I reminded her of this conversation, as there were signs that there was an Easter Mass happening inside, that I felt uncomfortable going in. I told her that she plus the guys were absolutely free to attend, and that I was more than happy to go and get an ice cream, and that we could meet up afterwards for lunch. She reacted badly, started yelling that I was a hypocrite because 2 years ago I visited La Sagrada Familia and went inside, and that I should just suck it up and do the same today because I'm ruining our trip. I tried to explain that I can still admire the architecture of a church without wanting to participate, and that when I visited Sagrada, I chose a tour slot that wasn't during any service, and it was just 300 tourists inside, and that it felt more like visiting a landmark. She kept shouting, and the guys came over and sided with me, which made her more upset. Grace went into the church, and Harry told me that while he agreed with me, religion is a touchy thing to argue about, and I probably should have backed down. He followed Grace, while Tom came with me to get ice cream. The trip was awkward, and when we got home we avoided each other for a while. I thought things would go back to normal after a week or two, but it didn't. I burned myself, and she told me I should get used to the pain because I'll be getting burnt a lot in hell. We invited her to sit and watch a movie with us. It was my turn to pick the movie, but she said that if I don't want to participate in her interests, she won't participate in mine, and stormed off. I feel really conflicted because Grace, and Harry but not as bad, still think I'm the AH here, and am beginning to think I'm a hypocrite because I did go to a church for tourist reasons. Comments. Quiet grudge. NTA, 1,000 times over. There is nothing hypocritical about checking out a church strictly for admiring its aesthetic aspects, and if this is a sticking point with her now but not leading up to now, she may well be the hypocrite. If this is what it will be like between the two of you going forward, it may be time to examine when you can remove yourself from the lease because you have not done anything wrong, and she is being grotesquely unreasonable by making this the focal point of every interaction the two of you have. Oh, I didn't want to hear this, but I think if we can't resolve things, it might be the right move. I'm scared of becoming someone who can't have religious people in my life due to my past, though. Quiet grudge. If anything, it's precisely the opposite. This religious person can't have you in her life. There are any number of people for whom faith is central to their everyday life, but would never impose it on someone else. She is doing that to you and is not being rational about it. OOP. I hadn't thought about it like this before. I have a lot to reflect on. Thank you. Verdict. Not the A-hole. Edit. Thank you all for your comments. There's so many now I unfortunately can't reply to them all. I'm now realizing that this should not even have been a question, and I'm holding on to a lot of self-blame when it comes to this stuff. I have a lot to think about regarding my roommates, and I don't think I want to share my space with Grace or Harry anymore. Hope you guys all have an amazing day. Update. 6 days later. Some stuff happened, and some of you asked for an update, so here goes. After reading all your comments, I decided that I don't need that in my life, and I called the landlord. He gave me the okay to not renew for next month and offered to provide a positive reference, so I'm moving out in a few weeks. I told Grace plus Harry yesterday, and they didn't react well. Grace kept on about how I disrespected her and that she was only trying to make my life better. She admitted to directing us to the church on purpose. How are you guys so right about this stuff? I told her that it wasn't her place to decide what would make my life better, and that her actions showed me that we aren't compatible. Harry didn't say much apart from the fact that moving out was a bit drastic. I reminded him that if she hadn't dragged the original issue out for weeks, I probably would have moved on, and that if it's drastic to not want to be told I'm going to hell while I'm minding my own business, then he can call me a drama queen for all I care. A lot of you said there was something going on between the two of them. I didn't ask. I was overwhelmed in the moment, and honestly, it's not my business anymore. At this point, Tom had been MIA for a few days, so last night I sent him a message asking when he would be home. He called and said he wouldn't be back for a few more days, so I told him I was moving out. I also said I appreciated him standing up for me on the trip, and that we should find time to get some lunch or something before I go. He was quiet, so I asked if he was okay, and he just started sobbing loudly. I was so shocked that I just listened to him cry for a bit before being like, "Do you want to talk about it?" He explained that on the night we watched a movie, after I had gone to sleep, he bumped into Grace and told her that it wasn't fair that she was still punishing me for something that wasn't my fault. Apparently, he hit her with the WWJD, and she went wild. She told him that he had no right to comment on her religion when he living in sin, and called him a homophobic slur, and Tom packed a bag and went straight to his BF's place, and hasn't been back since. He said he was happy for me that I was moving out, but that he was dreading going back. He can't stay at his BFS for much longer. I was furious for him. We decided to find a place together, and that we would help each other pack up and leave, and not look back. I can't believe it escalated so much. I can't believe Grace. We've had conversations about gay rights, and she's agreed with us. She knows I'm bi. She had dinner with Tom plus his BF before, and just pretended? It's like it all came out of nowhere. Anyway, I want to thank you all for giving me that push. I can't wait to start a new chapter. Like, subscribe, and press bell icon for more videos.